Welcome back to the show. I'm Hari, and today we're boarding a generation ship that's been traveling for centuries.
And I'm Kimi. We're discussing Ursula K. Le Guin's novella, Paradise's Lost. I have to say, Hari, a world where you don't have to wear clothes until you're 7 sounds like a laundry day dream, though maybe a bit breezy for the rest of us.
Exactly. In the Discovery ship, the environment is described as so controlled that they don't even have disease-causing organisms. Those scientific studies of high-tech vessels like the ISS show that such total sterility is biologically impossible for humans to maintain. But that's just the start of the fascinating setting Le Guin builds.
It really is a static, eternal ecology. The ship allegedly holds about 4,000 people, and while a system where all materials and waste are completely recycled is a common science fiction trope not found on real-world vessels, everything, literally everything, is recycled. They even have strict population controls, with mandatory contraception injections every 25 days.
The story centers on Liu Sheng and Nova Lewis. They're fives, meaning they're the fifth generation born on the ship. They've never seen a sky, felt wind, or even known what a hill is, except through virtual reality tapes.
And those VR tapes provide a really telling moment for their characters. Sheng has a visceral, negative reaction to a recording of a tiger in a zoo. It's too wild and alien for her.
Right, whereas Lewis has a breakthrough by just sitting in a VR jungle and watching a spotted cat ignore him. That sense of something existing independently of humans strangely enriches him.
That's a key theme, ecocriticism. Le Guin is critiquing the idea that we can ever truly be separate from nature. Even on a high-tech ship, they are haunted by the Ti-Chu, or Earth, they left behind.
But not everyone wants to go back to a planet. Enter the angels of the Bliss cult. They believe the voyage itself is the point, and the outside world is just an illusion.
It's wild. They view landing on a planet as a spiritual step backward. In the novella's plot, they've actually been sabotaging the education of the sixth generation, erasing knowledge about planetary life to keep them on the ship forever, though this is strictly a fictional event.
The plot thickens when Shing marries the navigation teacher, Hiroshi. He drops a bombshell, despite some potentially confusing the timeline with a viral gravitational anomaly hoax. They are 40 years ahead of schedule. They'll reach Shin Ti-Chu in just 5 years.
And Hiroshi was keeping it a secret. He thought the knowledge would be a weapon against the angels, but Shing eventually convinces him that they have to be honest with the crew.
A fun fact for our listeners, despite the futuristic setting, Le Guin actually distanced the story from her famous Hainish cycle. It's a standalone exploration of what she called the generic science fiction future.
Another interesting tidbit is that the title is an allusion to John Milton's Paradise Lost. It's fitting because the colonists eventually have to choose between the paradise of the controlled ship and the difficult reality of a real planet.
When they finally arrived at Shin Ti-Chu, it's not an easy utopia. The air has pollen that gives them headaches, and they have to learn to live with weather they can't control.
Only about 25% of the population chooses to stay, in a reversal of typical sci-fi endings where crews return to a planet from a void. The rest of the crew, the angels and those who prefer the ship, simply fly away back into the void. It's a powerful ending.
Scholars like Max Haven say it's a lesson in the perils of freedom. It's much harder to be free on a planet than to be safe in a tin can.
It's also been adapted into an opera. Can you imagine the stage design for a generation ship? Must be spectacular.
Le Guin always did have a way of making the internal struggle of characters feel as vast as the stars themselves. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Paradise's Lost.
It was a pleasure. We'll see you in the next orbit. This episode is based on the Wikipedia article Paradise's Lost, which is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike license.